For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. This life says, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin, of course, is on Power 97.9 FM. It is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. As always, our request is please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell. My name is Timothy Poleon. We're going on until 2 o'clock this afternoon with your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Unfortunately, Amanda King is not with us today. She's not feeling too well, so I will try my utmost best to go through the comments in the chat room and to read some of them. I will try. Not making any promises. I will endeavor to go through those comments and periodically provide you with a few updates. I know that you're not surprised that the island has recorded a double homicide. This time in the community of Latuni, and that is in Vieux-Fort. 2 lifeless bodies of adult males were found in the wee hours of today, and so far 4 homicides recorded in St. Lucia within the space of less than a week. And I've lost count of the number of homicides that we've recorded so far for this year. I'm told officially it is 51. And this is happening. This is a worrying problem for us in this country. But it is being sidestepped by the authorities. And that would include law enforcement in St. Lucia. I mean, in a number of countries, you have a double homicide, you have a triple homicide, and the police, a senior police officer, would host a press conference or would speak directly with the media about that particular incident. in the case of St. Lucia, you get your press release. The victims are identified. They tell you their ages, the place of residence, and that's it. You move on. And increasingly, this is becoming something that is acceptable. The citizenry accepts this as something that is normal. That is not normal. Because it's talking about human beings whose lives are snuffed out, and in most instances, they are males. In most instances, those people are in the prime of their lives. They leave behind children, boys and girls who are mourning, wives and girlfriends, mothers, family members. An event after political event. What would the government of the day be speaking about? Not protecting you, of course. Not protecting citizens of this country. But shamelessly calling on you while you are grieving. Think about this. You are grieving the loss of a brother, the loss of a friend, the loss of a child. And those politicians are insisting that you protect the victory. If we had, for any given year, a single homicide, that would be cause for concern. But we continue to have homicide after homicide in St. Lucia involving the use of firearms. And you hear constantly, we don't produce guns. And this is only getting a passing mention by those people you were elected to do something for you, to ensure that you and your family, your surroundings, your community, your country is safe. That there isn't any kind of mayhem and instability in your country. That you are existing in an environment where law and order is maintained. And to add insult to injury, those politicians, again, they try to mamaguy you into believing that things are not exactly what they are. We are a nation where people are living in constant fear. Whether you are a law-abiding citizen, whether you are a miscreant, whether you are a criminal in this country, you are living in fear. Because of what? The prevalent use of illegal firearms and ammunition in our country. And the fact that you do not get a sense that our police force is sufficiently equipped, our officers are well trained, or our officers are motivated to do what is expected of them. Again, it is because of what? A lack of leadership. And yesterday I was addressing this particular issue. In any environment, in any setting, if you do not have the proper leadership, what will happen is that things will be chaotic. In the case of a country, criminals will be running amok. Criminals will have their way. If you do not send the right message across, if you do not treat whatever problem that is plaguing the society with the urgency and the seriousness that is warranted. When statement after statement that is being made by our leaders, your Home Affairs Minister, your National Security Minister, your Finance Minister, your Prime Minister, it has to do with quote-unquote so-called achievements of the government. What about things that you're not achieving? You don't want to focus on those things at all? That is what your consultants are telling you. That is what your handlers are telling you. That is what so-called strategists within the St. Lucia Labour Party are telling you. Ignore crime. Don't speak about it. Clearly, that is bad advice. First, don't only speak about it, but do something about the problem. You cannot fool those people who are hurting ever so often through the loss of relatives, loss of friends. Most of us, we are aware of some individual down the road in a particular pocket of our society who was gunned down, because so many of them are losing their lives in such senseless and tragic circumstances. You're not mounting a campaign to deal with the problem. You are not addressing it while you are under hustings. You have never had an address to the nation on crime. And you believe that by ignoring the problem, by not addressing it head on, that the people of St. Lucia will not be cognizant of this situation. That is the plight. That's what we're experiencing in the country right now. We're going to talk about constant growth in the economy. Let's talk about constant growth in the number of homicides that we continue to record in St. Lucia on an annual basis. Ignore it at your own peril. Still in the area of law enforcement. A former police officer, Calix Kakal Xavier, United Workers' Party candidate for V4 North, has been speaking on a range of issues relating to law enforcement and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And he also has been expressing disappointment in the island's police commissioner, Mr. Vanguard. And I'm not too sure if we're in a position to hear from him right now, but we are working on a clip and we'll be hearing from him in just a moment. I will not paraphrase. You'll be hearing from him on this particular issue, so stand by for it. But we have a number of problems in our country that can be addressed if only we have the proper leadership. And I know that some people have a problem with that word, leadership, because right down the alley, they are leaders in this country. And they are offended if you call on them to do what is required of them. If they were appointed to do a particular task and they are failing, if they were elected and they are failing, and you're critical of their poor performance, then they have an issue with you. They believe it is personal. It's not personal. It's not personal. You could have decided not to enter the political arena, and so that you wouldn't win a seat, and the people in a particular constituency, and by extension the country, would not be looking to you for leadership in a particular area. So a lot is expected of you, and you ought to be honest enough to say to yourself that you can do better and you ought to do better. What we'll do right now is to open the lines to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. In a moment again, we'll be hearing from Calix Kakal Xavier expresses disappointment in the island's police commissioner. And there's an issue that is brewing within the bosom of the United Workers' Party. We'll focus on this as well. But time now to hear from you at 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and your messages as well. Let me go through some of your messages. Somebody is saying they asked the NewsSpin statistician whether we've had 51 homicides so far for this year. And I'm sure that he would be in a position to crunch the numbers and to tell us exactly what is going on. Somebody says there, Tim, 51 still? And another WhatsApp message to go through. Just yesterday, Tyson Funeral was in that area. The place was full of police officers. Actually, it was not yesterday, but day before. And some more of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there, and on TuneIn as well. Yes, we are not only on Power 97.9 FM, we are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and we are also on TuneIn. Thank you so much for the reminder, my friend who is watching or listening from all the way in Canada. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim. Mr. Tim, I was watching a clip with the Prime Minister in Babono. And I watched that clip and I went speechless. The man went on a platform and instead the man sent a message or addressed the cry, what we're facing in St. Lucia. Just because of Estefan joined the man team, which you don't know. I mean, some people get upset. I don't get upset for that. The man is a big man. The man wants to do what he wants to do. Fine. But what that sickened my brain, so many things that happen in St. Lucia, crime, things happening here, my brother. And instead the man put a voice out. The man just there, who that there with us? Esther who? Esther? You know, Estefan? You know what I mean? And it just sickened my... So the man already sending to we St. Lucian people. He ain't ready to run the country. I was watching Mr. Shastney on a lady, I think it's last night. And we have to analyze, my people, and finalize the question. You see, Mr. Alan Shastney was talking to a lady, I can't really remember her name. And you could see that man, not because of he want to get in office, but concern about we St. Lucian people. And you just hearing Philip JP on a game thing on a... My people, we all are St. Lucian. Put color on our side. We already see the Labour Party keep on failing us and failing us. We don't want that. We cannot give them another 5 years. You see what I'm telling you? Mr. Pierre, going up to 5 years, a gallon of fuel in the whole Caribbean in St. Lucia, 16.50. Close to 5 years, you're moving 50 cents on that. No wonder you have say $5 could block a hole. So you feel 50 cents is so much. You know what I'm saying there? We, St. Lucian people, put a voice out, and the voice we need, put them fellas out of office, man. Straight up. Thank you, my brother.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And let me see if I have another WhatsApp message to share with you. Again, while we take your calls. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, I'm listening on Radio Garden. And this is coming from a St. Lucian who is living and working in Antigua. Some more of your messages. Tim, what rubbish was Big Daddy talking on Yardie? Shame on him. Yes, so Big Daddy, who is Joannes Leos, the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries South in the last general election, I think was defeated by well over 1,000 votes by Dr. Ernest Hilaire, was speaking with Yardie this morning. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment, and we'll find out what really prompted that. Let's see if we have... okay, we lost that call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says, Tim, I don't see how St. Lucians can vote back that SLP government. It's just too much. This is by far the government and prime minister ever. This is by far the worst government and prime minister ever. Just call the elections. Let St. Lucians speak. We have a call. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you,
Yeah. On this subject, I heard the show with Daddy this morning, and it wasn't no more than a whole set of lies. I don't know what these big men who claim to be big men and they say responsible, and then to go on over the media and mislead the public. One, I could tell you, he said about Tommy. During the last election, the chairman then withheld. Tommy wasn't even a member of the United Workers' Party because of the chairman held back his application. Tommy became a member of the United Workers' Party after the last election when the new chairman came in and brought in his application. I could tell you, this man was so absent from the constituency. Even some of the candidates did not even know who he was. But he claimed that, he stood up to Alan. I could tell you, I'm part of the executive, and we never saw the man throughout the campaign. Even when to take a photo to put on a poster, he was nowhere to be found. And if I lie, tell him, come and say that's not true. So you see, I don't know how much the Labour Party are paying those individuals claiming people resign. A man resigned from the party how many years ago? Y'all want to go and dig dirt and come and say so many people resigning and what? Up to the branch. Alan had nothing to do with the selection of Big Daddy in the last election. It was the branch who selected Big Daddy. So for him to, and then National Council endorsed whatever the branch came up with. But the political leader had nothing to do with that. You keep hearing problems in the problem. The party is standing firm. The party has purged itself. And you could see everybody who want to go and join Labour. They're free. It's their democratic right. I think it's the best thing for the United Workers' Party because they are competent men and women that they realize that will overshadow them, and they cannot walk in those people's footsteps. Hence the reason they're going on the Labour Party and want to blacklist Alan like Alan is a dictator, Alan is this, Alan is that, he's a massa. These people are more massa and more discriminative compared to Alan. Alan is a giving person. He has the country by heart. He's not somebody who's trying to say things to win an election. When Alan speaks, Alan is genuine. And because as a leader, you cannot have your way, and this is a man that do not stand for corruption. Here, a lot of people will tell you everything negative about Alan. But that will not stop the United Workers' Party from forming the next election. Thank you, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. We have another call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Yes, Timothy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, Timothy, I am a retired police officer, but I'm in the reserve. I joined the force since 1969, Timothy. And I can recall each time the police have to throw tear gas, it was because of the St. Lucia Labour Party creating havoc in the country. Each time tear gas is thrown, it was because of Labour Party doing mischief. I have never witnessed that UWP create any trouble in this country for police to throw tear gas. You know, because of this party, police have to be throwing tear gas. And now, you know, you have a prime minister which we expect better from. He comes lying to the country, saying all lies. He cannot govern. You know, he has other ministers, Timothy, taking over him, and he cannot say nothing. This is not the leader we want in this country, you know, and they come with all hatred. You know, how can you do that? We are in trouble, and you're asking us to protect victory. You say you're putting us first, and I have not seen the first you're putting us into. You know, the hospital they're spending money on, the old hospital. This Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, has never come, whether on radio or television, to tell us it will cost this amount to repair or refurbish the hospital and how much money they have spent on this hospital. You know, this government do whatever they want with our money. And each time I see this government spend our money, is just wastage. Wastage all the time, you know? And then now, they want to put tax on our backs because they don't spend our money right. They have to understand the money in the treasury don't belong to them, it's ours. And you have to spend the money right in our country, you know? And you see they cannot give account of that CIP money. I am positive these people have this money there, but they are waiting to spend it at the right time to give people money to vote for them, you know, and they're pretending that they don't have the money. They have it because they have tricks, you know, they have the tricks. Like he said, he knows how to play the politics, Timothy. I mean, Mr. Pierre have to take leadership, but he don't have the qualities. I don't see the qualities in him to be a prime minister. Thank you so much, Timothy.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message while we are awaiting your call. Somebody says there, Tim, up to now, people from Castries South don't know who is Big Daddy. I was working with him, I can tell you. He don't answer his phone. That's why he did not vote. They did not vote for him. Tell him to not come in Bas Saint-Joseph. Big Daddy didn't want to do one interview as the candidate, and now he wants to talk. Mumu, go pay. Okay. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Somebody says, I want to repeat my challenge to the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, our Prime Minister, for a public debate on the St. Lucian economy on the 25th of September 2024 at the National Cultural Center. This is coming from the Golden Dragon. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good day, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
All right, Tim, I just wanted to support Mr. Baste on his contribution. I didn't hear all of it. But I heard part of it. Tim, when I heard the speaker, the present speaker, he has been saying that on his first speech at the House, he instructed the police not to put barriers at the Constitution Park. The speaker is hallucinating. That directive cannot come from the speaker, because the police is the one making the determination when there is an internal security problem that they will erect barriers. That has nothing to do with the Speaker of the House. What happens outside the House chamber has nothing to do with Claudius Francis. And Mr. Baste is right. Every time the police have to put barriers outside the House is when the St. Lucia Labour Party is in opposition. And that's a fact. Tim, I just come, every time in the last 4 years, every time there is a House sitting and there is a threat or some information that UWP will come by the House, UWP comes on the platform, on the pavement opposite near Valmont, and they don't even cross the road. The police know that. The police know who are the people creating the problem by the House. And I used to tell them in my last months, I tell them, but you all know there won't be a problem with UWP. So why you all are making such a big fuss? And everybody can tell you, even the few SLP people who come on the opposite pavement, they are the ones who are walking across trying to create problems. Do you know them? We have seen them on video, Yadi and the others walking across trying to hit people. So when Claudius would talk to try to raise some kind of awareness to himself. But just know he's not in that league at all. All right? So, but Tim, let me tell you something. I listened to Mr. Xavier yesterday on a program. And it's not surprising to me the kind of rumors that you're hearing from the SLP camp, because that's how they are. That's what they're into propaganda, into condemning people and to state falsehood against people. When the issue of the exhibits came, missing exhibits came, which was false. And Tim, let me just say that today's Friday. Have there been any statement? I didn't follow the news the whole week.
Concerning what?
Was there any statement concerning the newscast that the exhibit was found?
Up to now,
any
sir.
Any confirmation or denial?
Up to now, sir, not a word from the hierarchy of the police force.
Okay, well, I got information that Mr. Gad is back at work, and I would expect that if Mr. Gad was back at work, if Mr. Gad is back at work, we should have heard something on that, because I saw Mr. Gad at the funeral. But when that Mr. Richard Frederick made his nonsensical statement about the exhibit who had custody switch, immediately flag flyers and horn blowers of the SLP started mentioning Kakal's name. Mr. Xavier worked the exhibit room. It must have been close to between 5 and 10 years ago. But all of a sudden, they have to find something. And that was aided and abetted by some ex-police officers who support some...
I mean, Caller, what is very sad is that we're supposed to be in an enlightened environment. And we have various modes of communication, now more than ever in history. Why isn't our authorities in St. Lucia using those mediums to communicate directly to the people in real time on issues that are surfacing, issues of concern to them, issues certainly that need ventilation? Why should we be waiting up to now, about 3 weeks maybe? We read online that the evidence have been found, and we cannot get confirmation or denial from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to say, yes, what we read online is correct, or it is not correct. I mean, I find that very disrespectful. Not to reporters, not to journalists, not to the media fraternity, but to the people of St. Lucia. Very, very disrespectful.
Tim, but I have told you the reason for that. I've told you that before, because the people in the leadership positions they are put in are all puppets, Tim. I can tell you based on I'll speak like Richard Frederick. It is what would he use? He has a word using. My information that the exhibits are there, Tim. They are located. They're there. They will never misplaced. Okay? Take it from me, the exhibits are there. Now, why the commissioner, because I called on Mr. Gad, I said I'm waiting for him to come back on duty. Why would the commissioner be back and the deputy is there, his ACP is there? Why would they be back and they're not making a statement? I have told you why. When you have those certain people in positions and they cannot speak on their own, they have to, a chain has to be pulled or a rope has to be pulled for them to speak, like a puppet. That's what puppet do. When you have a puppet on a string, unless you pull some mechanism, Tim, it ain't gonna move. But I can tell you with 100% accuracy that those exhibits were never misplaced. Now, you may not want to take it from me, but I tell you when I tell you something already, don't doubt what I'm telling you. All right? And you know why they would not speak, because somebody has to tell them to speak. How can you have a situation where the force is being led by people and the men in leadership positions in the force cannot make a decision or determination on nothing. But everybody inside is nitpicking, cherry picking, who they want to promote and who they want to promote. You heard Mr. Xavier, and I wish you would have had some of the clippings of what he said. When it comes to promotion, every time Labour Party is in power, promotion is based on party colors. That's a fact. That's a fact. Tim, let me tell you something before I close. Tim, it's today is what date?
The 12th.
Well, in September. I'm not.
The 12th. 12th of September.
The
12th.
12th of September. Tim, it is 14 months. June, July, August. It will be very close to 15 months I've left the force. Tim, when I left the force 15 months ago, there were persons that I left at constable rank, and you know they are inspector. In 15 months. Tim, you know how long it took me to get inspector?
So they have moved from corporal, they have moved from just a constable, corporal, sergeant.
To corporal, to sergeant, and to inspector.
Wow.
In a year and 3 months. You know how long it took me to get that rank? 43 years. So, do the mathematics, Tim. Do the mathematics and tell me if that is not sheer madness. But listen to, don't take it from me, listen to Mr. Xavier. He left much recent than I. Listen to him, and you will hear what he is saying. This is madness. And you have a process where people are supposed to go through a process. And you just disregarding all of that, and you're promoting people who carrying flag, who putting flag. That's how you're running an operation. Tim, have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. So let us hear now from Mr. Calix Kakal Xavier, former police officer. He says that he's very disappointed. He is expressing disappointment in the island's police commissioner, Mr. Verngard.
I'm very disappointed in our present commissioner of police. When I heard he was coming to the police force, I was so excited. He gave me an opportunity to work with him, and I'm so disappointed in this man. I believe that he is not acting on his own, because that's not the man that I knew. I think that he's being controlled by some powers, and he's not a man of his own in his capacity. I cannot understand why we, the Police Welfare Association, could not work alongside him. Because it happened in the time of Daisy, it happened in the time of Moshere, and so much was obtained, so much we made happen. During Moshere, I could clearly recall a lot of police officers did several courses during Daisy's time, a lot of courses. We did courses, and that was through the Police Welfare Association, because the Police Welfare Association said to them, sir, we do not have a proper functioning police academy. Through no fault of those who work there. I'm just saying we do not have that. What, do you think it's fair that you do not provide certain police officers with courses to advance themselves, and then call them during the promotion process and tell them that they need 8 to 10 courses? Are these courses related to policing? So if you tell me an officer go and do like 6 courses, he did biology, he did education, religious education, he did, bartending, and he comes with all these courses, is he eligible to promotion? So that's where the police welfare came, and they told them, okay, we're gonna provide the officers with these courses. And I was a beneficiary of these courses too, because what they would do, they would not give you courses, they would give their friends courses, and their friends, some of their friends would have like probably 14 courses, and those they don't like would not have 1 course. So automatically their friends would be promoted. Who giving them the courses to go on? You, that's in the executive giving them the courses, right? And then when some other officers who don't have, and these are hardworking officers, honest officers, they don't get the opportunities like other officers get. I had to leave even the service when I felt it was too slow. I did some courses with UE, I did some courses with Monroe College. I did my courses on my own, I paid it. If I had to do moonlighting to do it, I did it. Right? And as I was saying, the Police Welfare Association saw that gap and they fixed it with these commissioners. But with this present commissioner, it returned to the very same thing.
But I mean, talking about
a breakdown of morale. And you could see it's just persons who speaking on behalf of the SLP that are getting promoted in the force.
Just so there from Calix Kakal Xavier expressing disappointment in the island's police commissioner. We have another call. Hello, good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I heard Big Daddy talking a whole heap of nonsense. Big Daddy was a candidate. He was invited on several programs to appear so that he could speak something to the public and to his constituents who he was fighting to represent. He never came. He hid away from the public. He never came to no interview. And he come out he was up to Ireland. These guys just are rejection. That's what they want to accept. You as a candidate, Sky FM was there. You was invited on several occasions into the studio to meet the public. You never came. Why? Ask yourself why. Tell us why you didn't come and speak to supporters of the party. Not on one program. You didn't call Newsmaker Live. You didn't come on Sky FM. Nowhere. You was hiding. You know why. So don't come and talk about Alan. You say, who are you to stand up to Alan? People know you. People know who you are. In the first place, you should have never been a candidate as far as I'm concerned. You have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. In a moment, you'll be hearing from Mr. Johannes Leos, better known as Big Daddy. You'll also be hearing from the political leader of the opposition, UWP, Alain Chaste. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Hey Lucilec, Sherry here. I've been hearing all about my account and its features. Can you really do all that?
Absolutely, Sherry. I'm Taisha, by the way. My account is your all-in-one power hub. You can check your bill. It's even emailed to you every month. Need a copy? You can download a PDF version anytime. You can manage multiple accounts and paying is a breeze. Use your card or opt for online bank payments. Thank you. Whatever suits you best. Keeping tabs on your energy use? You got it. Track your consumption, download payment records, and see how you stack up against previous months and others nearby.
Thanks for breaking it down A1, Taisha.
You got it, Sherry. My account puts the power in your hands. Remember, it's your energy, your way.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. Big time. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 6 months off your mobile bill, back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home? We've got the mortgage. Starting your first business? Count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney Bay, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Let's Bet Sports is turning up the heat this CPL season with a sizzling on-ticket island-wide promotion. Bet just $10 online or in-store and score a letter coupon with every ticket. Collect the letters FLY and you're jetting off to an ultimate cricket experience at the CPL Finals in Guyana. An all-expense-paid trip for two, tickets to the finals, and $500 in your pocket. Plus, win match tickets, cricket jerseys, and cash prizes on the road to the finals. It's game time from August 4th to September 14th. Claim your prize at the SNL office in Gablewoods Mall, Castries. Play, win, fly to Guyana with Let's Bet Sports. Powered by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Terms and conditions apply. Your favorite event of the year is back. Project Chocolat presents Zouk of Bloods featuring
We go jam instead.
Umpa.
Press off your one drop.
Back to by TYP.
I want to.
To Soufriere, Saturday, October 4th, Zouk of Blood. Also featuring Sir Lancelot, Hollywood HP, DJ Shocking, and hosted by MC Donoville. Regular tickets $120, all-inclusive VIP $350. Very limited, no door sales. Available at the Cell Island-wide, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, and 4circustickets.com. Zouk of Blood, Saturday, October 4th, from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Remember the dress code, all white.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Lucilec wishes to advise customers and the public of the early closure of all its customer service offices this Friday. That's today at the following times. VA4 closed from 10 o'clock this morning. Rodney Bay office and the Blue Coral Mall kiosk closed from 11 o'clock this morning. This closure is necessary to facilitate staff participation at a department meeting. The Rodney Bay office will reopen tomorrow, Saturday, from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Normal business will resume at all locations on Monday, September the 15th, 2025 at 8 a.m. During the closure, all options for conducting business with Lucilec remotely, including the automated account inquiry service at 457-4433 for bill balances and myaccount.lucilec.com for account information, and also to make online bill payments will remain available, and customers are encouraged to use those. The management of Lucilec regrets any inconvenience that this early closure may cause and would like to thank customers for their patience and understanding. Let's continue the broadcast with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979, 2979. WhatsApp calls again and messages 716-2026. So, the leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Shastney, was on a special report program hosted by Lisa Joseph on DBS last evening. And he had cause to make reference to Mr. Johannes Leons, better known as Big Daddy, as far as his selection to contest the last general election on a UWP ticket. Remember, he was the candidate for Castries South. This is what Mr. Alan Shastney said.
Let's look at the latest announcement that 21 people resigned from the party. All those persons came from one constituency, Castries South, which was Big Daddy. And so he had stacked the constituency branch with his own supporters, became members of the party. And when it came to trying to select a candidate, we ran into a roadblock. And so I personally don't think that Big Daddy should have run in the last election, but he did because of the system. And the constituency branch stood strong with him. We had a choice to make. Do you reject it? And then now it makes it even more difficult for a new candidate to be able to emerge. So the new process, those persons left after the election. Some of them did not renew membership. So of the 21 people that supposedly resigned, 19 of them, their membership with the party had already expired a long time ago. And none of the 21 had participated in helping the party rebuild and to be where we are today. So the new candidate selection process is that the constituency branches will identify people. The party is free also to identify people. Those persons go through an interview process at the constituency level, and the constituency will endorse 1, 2, or 3 persons and say we're comfortable with any one of those persons. They then go through a screening process at the national level. And once that is done, I then, by the recommendation of the committee, recommend to our National Council who the candidates are.
Leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Shastney. So this drew the ire of one individual, and that individual is Bertrand Johannes. I've been giving you the wrong name all along. It's Bertrand Johannes, better known as Big Daddy. And some of just what he said, brief comment that in that exchange with Yardi on the morning program on NBC earlier today. Let's hear from, once again, Mr. Bertrand Big Daddy Johannes.
I've been ill for 3 years until now that I'm recovering. I've never contacted anybody in the party, right? And Alan, for one, he knew I was hospitalized. Alan never ever picked up the phone or even come to the hospital. None of them never come to the hospital. Nobody never checked on me. And I've been silent for this whole time. So for Alan to come on his show and say that he didn't select me, that's why I resigned. That's not why I resigned.
Why did you resign?
Because Alan policies, it's not good. Eldred Stephen, right? He resigned. He didn't resign from the party, but he resigned from the national executive. Ozzy, I don't know if Ozzy went back, but Ozzy resigned from the national executive right after elections. Pinkley resigned, the former chairman, right after elections. They cannot work with him, right? And nobody can work with Alan. And Alan have to be careful what he is saying about me because he do not want me to speak.
No, but you free up. I mean, if a man is saying bad things about you, speak the truth.
No, Yadi, I am not that type of person, right? I'm not that type of person. But I hope, Alan, you are listening. I do not want you or any of the members of your party on the media or social media mentioning my name because you're creating problems for yourself. And the reason I resigned from the party, right? That party is not for the supporters. They're not, right? even for the parliamentarians. And Alan wants people that kisses his ass and he can control. And one of the reasons that Alan never supported me, and even Tommy Descott, right? Mary Isaac, Alan, Timothy Mangal, all these people, even Tommy Descott, never supported me. They campaigned against me. And SLP wasn't my adversary. It was UWP. That was my biggest fight.
Bertrand Big Daddy Johannes, and I'm sure many of you are hearing from him for the very first time, comes across as being more vocal now than when he was contesting the 2021 general election. Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And we have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, team.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, that Big Daddy guy, Nick went up on a UWP symbol, but on a Labour Party class election. Because don't tell me, you never keep a meeting, you never campaign. When for you to go on the nomination day, it was your manager, okay, your campaign manager was the one who went out and spoke. You never put yourself forward. The branch at the time, okay, rigged the whole system, whereby when we went to register 30 new members and was not accepted by the other, that Linnell girl that resigned as well. Okay, we took alongside with Simon. They rejected those young people application, discouraged those young people. Also, Tommy Descott application as well. All those application was rejected through a link with Linnell, Simon, and Big Daddy. Okay, so for him to come and say, I don't see here all what Chastney said was he was not supposed to go up, but he went because of the branch, and the branch is the one who pushed the candidate to the National Council and so on. Because he said Chastney called his name. Yes, Chastney called his name, but the man never displayed you say anything bad about you. He said the truth. And definitely the man went up on the man got the biggest beating ever in Gatchwee South. Over 1,500 votes.
I think it was officially is 1,429 votes. That's what I saw on the website.
Okay. All right. That's the biggest defeat ever in Gatchwee South. So you went up to help Hiller win the seat. That's what you did, brother man. And you know that to yourself. When I personally, I'm the PRO of the group, okay? When I personally come to you and tell you you have to meet certain people, you say, you call them Mary people. And then if they don't support you, the Labour Party people will support you. They did support you, but in your pocket. That's what happened to you. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Let's see if we have another call. Hello, good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon, team.
Good afternoon to you, Dr. Wilson.
Amanda is not here.
She is not.
Yeah,
she's not
Amanda
feeling.
is not here.
She's not on today. She's not feeling too well.
Oh, I hope she gets better. Listen, team, I would like to make at least 3 points. And one of them is on one of the points that the leader of the opposition spoke about, the 7 points. And it has to do with the health insurance. I think presently our Ministry of Health speaks of universal health coverage. And I want to ask the question, what percentage of our population feels that they are covered sufficiently by the universal health coverage that we have? As far as I see, the patients, the diabetic patients, hypertensive patients, get some of the medication. But as to the latest medications, in diabetes mellitus and hypertension, you cannot obtain it from our health centers. Most patients have to buy the medication at Marcy's or MNC's or private pharmacies. The other situation is we speak of ultrasounds and PSA and so on, lab studies. When you do the lab studies, you have to take them to a doctor. Let us say, for example, your prostate tests. You do a prostate test, a lab test, which is a PSA. You have to take it to a doctor. Under universal health coverage, do you have a doctor that you take a urologist to see whether you have cancer of the prostate or so on, or whether patients are being sufficiently covered in that respect? No. The other thing is that cancer treatment is very expensive. Once you are diagnosed with cancer, it is already, the chances of survival and your patients go through hardship to pay medication for chemo, for all of the visits and so on. Does the universal health coverage cover that? All right? And even diabetes mellitus, people with complications of diabetes mellitus, like those who have to take renal, to go on dialysis, or eye examinations, or all of these kinds of things. Going through dialysis, it's another expense. So universal health coverage does not cover all of these things, and the percentage of our population that is covered by that is very small. So having a health insurance for our population is very, very, very important, Tim. It is so important. Only last month, a friend of mine died of cancer, and she didn't even have a chance to even raise the money to buy medication for the chemo. And that lady did not even reach 50 yet. All right? So health insurance is very important for our population, and I think that is something that our Ministry of Health has to take very seriously, because it's for years they have been talking about that, from Emma to Dr. King to all of that kind of thing, and up to today, which we are in 2025, we cannot have health insurance. The second thing is St. Jude's Hospital. I saw some radio thing, some media coverage of a walkthrough of St. Jude's. Tim, I saw the walkthrough. They went to the morgue. They went through the renal units, part, I think, something of the emergency room. But a hospital does not include only the sections that we show here. You have to have a complete hospital operational. You cannot have. So what about the obstetric maternity section? What about the neonatal unit for the children? What about the surgical unit? What about the pediatric unit? What about the lab? What about the x-rays? You need to have a functional hospital. Okay? After 16 years, if you can get the hospital going, fine. But I have not seen a complete hospital in that coverage that the Ministry of Health went through. Okay? So I am yet to see. I want to see what exactly is going on. You understand? And if we have to spend over $400 million on a hospital and we cannot have a complete hospital, listen, the time will come when we will have to do it again. All right? So that money needs to be spent wisely so that the population or the years to come, that our people would need to have proper health care.
Now,
And-
Dr.
and the third point I want to-
Dr. Wilson, the government is saying, I
Yes.
get the impression that the government plans to open the health institution, St. Jude Hospital, before the end of this year. I don't know if you have visited the facility of late, but do you believe that this is possible? A fully completed health institution
Timothy,
that could operate on its own?
Timothy, listen to me, okay? As an medical individual who have worked here for 34 years, all right, I am interested in my country having a proper health care, all right? And that is paramount to me, okay? That is paramount to me, and I think most St. Crucians want that. I'm giving you a simple example. A pregnant woman comes through the emergency room, all right? Okay, they come through the emergency room. You have to do ultrasound, whatever. Go to maternity, deliver the baby. The baby will go to neonatal unit and everything. Do you see all of these departments functional?
Well, I have not visited the facility.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, but what was shown there does not show there is any sequence in the service. So you need all of the services in a hospital are connected, team. They're connected. Whatever you come through the hospital for, you need lab, you need x-rays, you need ultrasound, you need the emergency room, you need surgery. If you have an accident, you need surgery. Okay? You need the surgical ward. Okay? If you come in for whatever, to be asthma or whatever, you need the internal medicine. Your children, you need pediatrics. So all of the services are connected. You cannot open part of a hospital, team. You have to have everything functional. And if government cannot open everything, they have to tell St. Crucians, listen, we can only have the renal unit functioning, which may operate for a little while, but you cannot have a whole hospital. You cannot have the hospital in parts. You cannot have the emergency room up on the old site and the rest in the stadium. You cannot have maternity up there and the neonatal down there. That is not making any sense. Okay, so all of the services must be connected, team. All right, so we must stop doing things in this country just for political mileage. We have to think of our country. We have to think of our children. We have to think of our elderly. We have to think of our parents, our relatives, and so on. What kind of care are they getting, and what government is giving to us? All right, whether it be on the UWP or whether it be on the SLP, but government has to give a functional hospital. And if we have spent so much money on a hospital, we need to have a hospital that functions, okay? From the emergency room to the operating room, to lab services, to maternity, to pediatrics, and everything, all right? So, sometimes I really don't know what's happening in this country. And the other point I wanted to make, let's see what's going on with St. Jude. The other point I want to make is I hear a lot of talk about $7 million for vaccination. I want St. Crucians to remember the time of the COVID. That was a disease that we did not know much about. And the Ministry of Health, the medical personnel, everybody who were involved had to develop a plan to fight that disease and to protect our people. The Ministry of Health took the decision to close the country, all right? To close the country because it was an infectious disease and that many people could have been killed or would die because of the disease. As we saw in New York, so many people died, okay, because the mayor of New York was going through a lot of hearings because of the number of people who died in New York. Italy went through a horrible time, but we were smart enough that we closed down our country and we got a vaccination, all right, and started vaccinating our people. We needed to vaccinate a percentage of the population to get what we call the herd immunity so that we can protect the population. All right. Now, that may be a medical term and you may not understand completely, but a certain percentage of the population would have to be immunized so that you can survive, all right, in such a pandemic. And we were searching for vaccines, and it was important, very, very important that we get the vaccination and we get the vaccine. So I think we had gotten a first batch of vaccines, and the medical people got vaccinated, the nurses, the doctors, and so on, because since we had to work with patients, so that we had to be vaccinated. So that $7 million not only sent crucial, we were looking for vaccination, but vaccines, but also the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados. All right. So that thing that people keep on saying, oh, the $1 million was taken by the leader of the opposition. The Ministry of Health needed vaccines to vaccinate our people so that we did not have a problem like Italy and New York. And we were lucky enough that we did that early enough, okay, that we had testing centers in the Polyclinic, VH, Soufre, Vieux-Fort, around the island. We had isolation centers for people who were traveling, and when they came in, they had to be quarantined. The hotels had to develop a structure where everybody had to be tested. All right. And even the people who were on the cruise ships, when they came back, they were quarantined so that they did not infect, or if some of them were sick, did not infect people at home. So that money was used for vaccine, and I don't think it was used in any way, in any kind of corruption. So I just want to explain that thing, why we needed the vaccines at that particular time. All right. And we are very lucky because of the number of deaths that we got was not as much as Italy and New York. All right. So Ministry of Health and the government at the time did a remarkable job. And the other thing is, we were lucky enough that we could have had a separate place to have our patients with COVID. Just imagine if we had COVID patients and normal patients in the same institution, the whole of St. Lucia would be, would perish. So individuals, we need to think very, very carefully about some of the things that we see. All right, Tim?
Okay,
but
Doc.
St. Jude's, yes, I am waiting. I am hoping that we can have a complete and functional hospital.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling Dr. Sylvia Wilson. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. I think we have a call this time from Jamaica. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello?
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Hi. Oh, you're calling from a Jamaican phone number. Sorry. Go ahead. Is that Miss
Timothy, why you have to tell everybody my business?
Is that Miss Nancy Charles? Go ahead, Miss Nancy Charles.
Yes, it is. Timothy, how are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Timothy, I'm doing well.
Mm.
I'm doing well. I see, Timothy, that a lot of people are coming out of the woodworks with claims. Past members, past supporters of the party with all kinds of claims. I do want to say to the St. Lucian population, this is just the beginning. I think we should be used to it by now that this has always been the tactic of the St. Lucia Labour Party, is to see how best they can entice maybe disgruntled members of the United Workers' Party to come on their side to make lots of allegations that cannot be substantiated, and to show that there is this unity within the United Workers' Party. I want to say to St. Lucia that the United Workers' Party is more united than ever. I do want to say to our supporters, I was a bit disappointed because too many people spent too much time speaking about those individuals who are unimportant. These things are just distractions, Timothy, to the population. These things are meant to create distraction and get people to talk about things that are not important and to distract us from the real issues affecting St. Lucia at this time. So let me say to the supporters of the United Workers' Party, do not get yourself involved and indulge in those type of distractions. Everybody who wants to talk, let them talk. Everybody who wants to come out, and there will be more, Timothy, let them come out and let them talk. People see hypocrisy for what it is. People recognize these were people who sat for 4 years, 5 years. You sat in cabinet, you sat in ministry, you applied to become candidate about a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. Up till a month and 2 years ago, UWP was the best thing. You supported Alan, you supported UWP, but because you couldn't get your way, all of a sudden Alan is bad and UWP is bad and Theron and everybody else is bad because you can't get your way. So that's distraction, Timothy. That's not why I called. I think Dr. Wilson laid the foundation in terms of what I want to say. And again, it's another distraction. I want to respond to something that I heard Musa spoke about at the Babuno public meeting with reference to Ministry of Health. And Timothy, I was about to make a statement to say when politicians, say things, but I will not group all politicians in that category. When politicians on the St. Lucia Labour Party side want to mamagize people and deliberately lie to the population and misrepresent facts, it is important that we come out and we say to St. Lucia what the facts are. So his statement was, Timothy, that the Labour Party had increased the subvention to the OKEU every year when they came into office until this financial year. They had increased it to 34 and 70 and 90 million dollars, etc. But that is a fact, Timothy. But what Musa did not say to the population is why the subvention was increased and what was the money for. And that is what is important. So I want to remind St. Lucians that when we came into office in 2016, and you would have known that, Timothy, that there was legislation that had already been passed to statutarize Millennium Heights Complex. Do you remember that, Tim?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, when we got into office, so Millennium Heights Complex, not only did they do an opening, did they do a naming ceremony, the institution was closed and it could not be opened because of two reasons. One, it was because of money, but the second reason is that Kenny Anthony had gone ahead and statutarized Millennium Heights Medical Complex. So it meant that if you opened the hospital, everybody who came into that hospital would now be part of a statutory corporation, so they would no longer be employed by the Ministry of Health or the government of St. Lucia. They would be employed by that statutory corporation. And this was one of the issues that we had to deal with when we got into office. COVID, we were trying to put structures in place to go through that process. I'm sure you remember nurses and doctors, everybody complaining because when we started the process to do the transitioning, people were concerned about their job and their job security, etc., etc., etc. So what happened is that the Labour Party eventually, they came into office, they did the full statutarization, and that is why St. Lucia, that the subvention to OKEU was increased because the money was not for OKEU. The money was not for the operations of OKEU. The money that was increased in terms of the grants and subvention is and was to pay for the doctors, the nurses, and the medical staff of OKEU/aka Millennium Medical Heights Complex. So when Musa comes out to say that the subvention was increased to OKEU, making it people believe that OKEU got money, they didn't. And let me tell you why they didn't, Timothy. The estimates of revenue and expenditure, this is the official budget. This is how much money is allocated to the Ministry of Health. In 2019, the allocation, which was during the Alan Shasley administration, was $137 million. In 2020, when COVID hit us, we moved the allocation to $182 million. That's an increase of $45 million. We increased the budget for the Ministry of Health. In 2021, when we did our final budget, which would have been prior to the election, we further increased the subvention to $189 million. That's another $7 million increase. So I want you to note that when Labour came into office, Timothy, they got a budgetary allocation of $189 million to the Ministry of Health. In 2022, when they did their first budget, you remember that's the time they put the health and security levy, Tim? They said that the levy was for health and security. Do you know how much the allocation was for Ministry of Health, even though they had implemented that new tax? It went down. It was $186 million. The budget for Ministry of Health in the year that they implemented the health and security levy went down by $3 million. In 2023, the budget remained at $186 million. They didn't increase it. They didn't reduce it. They kept it at 186. And in 2024, 2025, they increased it to $191 million, which is an increase of $5 million. The government projected to collect $33 million and $45 million consecutively in those 2 years from the health and security levy. And you can see reflected in the budget, Timothy, that no money was allocated to the Ministry of Health. And so I want to say to St. Lucia, isn't it amazing and an indictment on Moses for you to claim that your government is spending more money on health, and even for the Prime Minister to claim that they've spent more money on security? And Timothy, these are the two ministries that are the most mismanaged in this country, and these are the two ministries that everybody in St. Lucia is complaining about. They're complaining about health and they're complaining about security. So it says to me that both Musa and the Prime Minister, who are the managers of these ministries, they have been allocated more money and the ministries have gotten worse instead of getting better. And so at the end of the day, this is what I want Mr. Jean-Baptiste to come out and refute and to show St. Lucia. Why is it that you are claiming more money was allocated to OKEU, but in every single year, the budget for the Ministry of Health has been reduced and not increased, even though we have collected a health and security levy? Timothy, these are the things that are important. These are the things that St. Lucians should be focusing about. Where is your money going to? What is the money that the government is collected? What are they doing with that money? And how is that money not helping you, but it's helping them? That's what I'd like to see for today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. Still to come on the broadcast, we have a funny clip. What a dog would look like, a canine would look like, that is donated by the Chinese government. Please stay with us. We have a whole lot more, including our NewsSpin news of the day, as well as the NewsSpin question of the day.
Don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
It seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Butay. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
We're just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the generator. This year, I'm not taking any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa Hardware in Massat Grocery. best prices around. And believe me, I don't want to hear, "Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down," when the power's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public that its customer service office at the Carolick building in San Souci remains closed to facilitate urgent maintenance. The Lucelec Rodney Bay and Vieux-Fort offices are open to serve customers, and the kiosk in the Blue Coral Mall is available for all services except payments. Customers who wish to make payments during this closure are encouraged to access the My Account service at myaccount.lucelec.com. Show pays online and walk-in service options, or participating financial institutions. Payments made via SurePay and My Account Direct on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. will be processed to customer accounts the same day. Payments made after 4 p.m. will be processed the next business day. For account balances, please dial the automated account inquiry service line at 457-4433. Customers can access other Lucelec services by using the virtual service desk at lucelec.com. The management of Lucelec deeply regrets any inconvenience caused by this closure and thanks its valued customers for their patience and understanding.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, we keep things flowing. We people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come, let your rhythm flow.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
Yes. That was the Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise stewards of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney Bay, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Somebody sent me this this clip, and that would signify Officer Tyson's replacement from the Chinese government. And guess the name of this dog, this replacement? Officer Fun Chu. Yes, because from China, that's Officer Fun Chu. We continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, this is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin, of course, on Power 97.9, and also the broadcast is on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. In just a moment, we'll conclude with the NewsSpin news of the day, as well as the NewsSpin question of the day. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Good afternoon, Viewport North.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
I am Carl Xavier, the endorsed candidate for Viewport North this coming general election. Team, it's another dark day in Viewport. It's another dark day in Viewport. I got the news of a double homicide at Latuni, Viewport, early this morning, and I visited the area, team. I met the mother of one of the young men, one of the deceased, Mr. Roberto Nelson. This young man had a 8-month-old baby. Zanaya, I saw the baby, and Tim, it touched me, Tim. Tim, it's nothing new to me, because I have been the first responder on several cases like this. But right now I'm on the other side. I'm not looking at it from a police standpoint. I'm more like a civilian. And Tim, it's bad. We need to do something about it. There was another young man too, Travis Clovis from Deriso. Tim, both of these young men, they were sons. They were friends to other persons. They were brothers, and their lives mattered. For their families are traumatized, and they need our support, they need our prayers, they need our love in this dark hour. And I must say, Tim, these things will continue to happen. It's sad to say, but it will continue to happen. Because being a law enforcer, that's less than a year ago, I was a law enforcer, and I saw all the cracks in the system, and most times when you try to speak about it, you will look like you're an enemy, instead of they take whatever you say and in good faith. Tim, in Vieux-Fort Police, in the Vieux-Fort Police Station, we have some serious issues. And I will stand up for the police officers who have been burnt out in the Vieux-Fort headquarters. Tim, can you believe there is no ASP, no superintendent, and no ACP in Vieux-Fort? So a document will come straight from an inspector to a DCP. Not even the organizational structure at the Vieux-Fort Police Station is intact. Far less resources. Tim, would you believe 2 months before I left, the cell area in Vieux-Fort Station was not operational? When they made the big show, they opened the Southern Divisional Headquarters. Tim, it's simple science. If the criminals feel that the police is not ready to take on that mantle to control crime in the country, they will take advantage of the situation. In Vieux-Fort, I must say we have dedicated police officers. I'll always continue to say that. We have dedicated police officers because I can tell you, Tim, I was transferred to Vieux-Fort during the peak of the escalated crime period as the operations sergeant. And I walked the streets with these men. I did what we had to do to contain crime in the Vieux-Fort Basin. Tim, the men are burnt out. Imagine you have a shift where these very same persons do the patrols for 2-3 years and they don't get a break, even if they go on vacation. But just doing the same work over and over and over again, Tim, it will take away the effectiveness of the duties. That is why it's very important to rotate the men. Tim, I really said to myself, Xavier, the police officers don't have a voice. You need to get out there to speak on their behalf. And I will always say it and I'll continue saying it. This is the worst I've seen the police force. And the reason the police force is the way it is there now, because of the politicization of the police force. Too much politics run in the police force. And I can assure you that most of these positions that are missing in Vieux-Fort were sent up to Castries. And people from Vieux-Fort need to open their eyes and understand that the neglect of the Vieux-Fort North constituency and the Vieux-Fort South is entwined in this government. It will continue to happen. Vieux-Fort persons need to take a stand and understand that the combination of labor with Vieux-Fort North and Vieux-Fort South does not work. Everything that have died is under the Labour Party. Let's look at the port. The closure of the airport redevelopment project. The old St. Jude's instead of the modern hospital. They tried their best to close down Ojo Labs and ITEL, and these are the two institutions that give us the most employment at this point in time in Vieux-Fort, keeping the young people engaged. From neglect to neglect to neglect after neglect. No employment, no youth empowerment in the Vieux-Fort North constituency. Lack of infrastructure. I believe the only road that you could boast of that you will drive and you will drive smoothly on it is the main road to Piero leading to the minister's home. I think we need to wake up. This family, I must tell them that we will be providing them support. I know Miss Liana Joannis, she was there this morning. I was informed that she was there. I came a little after her. We will be providing this family with support. We want to let them know that our prayers are with them. We are with them. And team, it's really hitting us harder because we continue seeing the same thing over and over. And to me, I believe there are simple solutions to these problems. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, thank you so much for calling. You just heard there from Mr. Calix Kakal Xavier, who is the United Workers' Party candidate for Vieux-Fort North. Let's turn our attention now to the NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, why are politicians swinging from party to party? Why are politicians swinging from party to party? That was our NewsSpin question of the day. Why are politicians swinging from party to party? Finally, the NewsSpin news of the day. It reads, former President Bolsonaro sentenced to 27 years in prison for plotting Brazil coup. Former Brazilian President Bolsonaro sentenced to 27 years in prison for plotting Brazil coup. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget, please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell. My name is Timothy Poleon. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back, God willing, on Monday afternoon, 12:30. Goodbye.